So, the Orlando Magic were in a tough spot, riding a 4-game losing streak. They desperately needed a win, a real statement win. And boy did they get one against the Charlotte Hornets, a huge 123-107 victory. But you know, this was more than just a win. It was a clinic. Today we're going to break down the exact blueprint the Magic used to get back on track.
All right, let's get right into it. When you're in a slump like that, this is the million-dollar question, right? How do you pull yourself out of it? Do you switch up the game plan, hope a star player just goes nuclear? Or is it something deeper, something more fundamental? Well, for the Magic, the answer was a clear, repeatable formula. It wasn't magic, it was a 3-part blueprint that all started with their identity, it was powered by their young guys, and it ended in just an absolute offensive explosion. The key here is understanding how all these pieces fit together so perfectly. And it all starts right here, on the defensive side of the ball. See, before they could get out and run, they had to get stops. The Magic didn't just play D. They imposed their will on the Hornets and really set a physical tone for the entire game right from the jump. Now, what's so cool about this is that it shows you the two sides of an elite defense. It's not just about doing one thing well. You have to be able to lock down the paint, contest every single look, and force tough, low-percentage shots. But at the same time, you've got to be disruptive, active hands, smart rotations, creating those live ball turnovers that lead to easy buckets. The Magic did both beautifully. Okay, let's look at that first philosophy. Forcing tough shots. This is a perfect example. You hear the commentator call out Franz Wagner for his defense. He's staying right in front of his man, not giving an inch, and forcing a really tough, contested shot as the clock is winding down. That's just disciplined, fundamental defense that absolutely wears a team down over 48 minutes. And it was a team effort inside, for sure. You had Jonathan Isaac, whose activity was just a nightmare for Charlotte all night. You had Goga Bitadze swatting shots away at the rim. And Wendell Carter Jr., who was just a wall in the paint from the very first play. These guys were the absolute backbone of that defensive effort. But look, that kind of defensive intensity needs fuel, right? And for the Magic, that fuel came from their young core. This is part 2 of the blueprint, and honestly, it gave us an exciting little glimpse into what the future might hold, all driven by the energy and execution of their rookies. And leading the charge for that youth movement, none other than the rookie, Anthony Black. From the first couple of minutes, it was obvious he wasn't just out there to play, he was there to impact the game in every single way he could, showing a ton of poise for such a young player.
I mean, just look at how versatile he was. He wasn't a one-trick pony. He was knocking down threes, sure, but the important part is he wasn't just settling. He was attacking the rim, creating for his teammates, and then turning right around to create absolute chaos on defense, which led to some monster dunks, like that tan tomahawk the announcers were so fired up about.
And hey, it wasn't just the Anthony Black show. The broadcast team was buzzing about plays like this from another rookie, Noah Penda. That Euro step, that shows incredible body control and confidence. It really proves the Magic's draft class has some serious depth.
And this slide just drives the point home. From Ryan Kalkbrenner getting tough buckets down low to Tristan Del Silva's huge defensive player, which we're going to get to in a second. The rookies were all making big, game-changing plays.
So we've got our first 2 ingredients, an elite, disruptive defense, and an energetic, impactful group of young guys. The third part of the blueprint is where it all comes together. This is the fun part. This is how the Magic connected the dots and turned that suffocating defense into an offensive avalanche. Okay, watch this play closely. It all starts with a Charlotte player driving to the basket. The first defender gets beat, but that's exactly when the Magic's defensive system is designed to kick in. This moment right here is the catalyst for everything that comes next.
And this right here is the blueprint in action step by step. Number 1, Jonathan Isaac rotates perfectly to help out, forcing the driver into a really tough pass. 2, the rookie Tristan Da Silva reads it the whole way, anticipates it, and jumps the passing lane for the steal. And 3, he's gone, off to the races for an easy dunk. It's just basketball poetry in motion.
And this is the most important part. I really want you to get this. That beautiful sequence wasn't a fluke. It wasn't just a lucky break. That was the game plan. That was the whole strategy, executed to absolute perfection again and again.
And the proof was everywhere you looked. An Isaac block immediately turns into a Wagner finger roll at the other end. An Anthony Black steal leads to that thunderous slam we talked about. A team strip steal that ends with your star player, Paulo Banchero, throwing it down. This is exactly how they built their lead and never looked back. So when you put all those pieces together, that defensive identity, that youthful energy, and that fierce commitment to running in transition, What do you get? You get a decisive, slump-busting victory.
And yeah, the final score says it all. This wasn't a squeaker, this was a complete and total dismantling of the Hornets, built on the back of everything they want to be.
So, let's recap the blueprint for victory one last time. It all started with a defense that didn't just react, it was active. It created opportunities. That was supercharged by young guys like Anthony Black making plays all over the floor. And that lethal combo fueled a deadly transition game, which, in turn, created easy buckets for their stars Banchero and Wagner to feast on.
And that leaves us with the one big question, doesn't it? We saw the blueprint work to perfection for one night. The challenge now is, can they make this their identity? Is this the formula that's going to define the rest of their season? Well, only time's going to tell. But for one night in Charlotte, it was absolutely unstoppable.